Hey y'all, good morning. Coming to y'all with a message very huge. So I was watching this podcast about how to wait and with hope in your waiting season, right? And this pastor said something that was so good. She said that a lot of the times we get so caught up in trying to get to the next thing in life, trying to rush through the seasons that God has us waiting and being still in. And we're trying to get to the next thing that we're not paying attention to what he's doing right now in the now. And a lot of the times we don't realize in the waiting season, like winter, you can't rush winter, but you can choose how you weather it. That was her exact words, right? And I thought that was so good. And the reason why it's so good is because when you're waiting, right, you're waiting with a purpose and a hope that God is going to do something soon. So some of the ways that you can wait in that season is connecting to him, drawing closer to his word, journaling and writing statements and aspirations and affirmations on paper. And because I say all the time, when you write it down and make it plain, you pray over it, it will come to fruition with your work, right? And a lot of the times we don't realize that in the waiting season also, we're building and getting seasoned in a foundation where we can show up more like him, more like Jesus. When we think about our relationships and how we interact with people, the way that you interacted last year with someone versus the way you interact with someone this year, if you're growing and elevating and doing true work on self, it's not going to be the same. There are things or moments where you could have cursed somebody out, where once you elevate and grow in Christ, you know that that's not the way that you're supposed to respond. So you slow your tongue and you choose a more gentler, more respectful way to communicate with people, or not at all. What I'm saying all of this to say is that what we have to understand is in a waiting season, it's not that God is stripping something from us because he just wants to punish us or wants to take something from us without teaching us a lesson. There's something that we usually need to learn about ourselves, or a way in which we need to grow internally, so that once we work on our insides and work on our character building, once he does launch us into that next season, we'll be equipped, we'll be armored, we'll be in the understanding that there was something that needed to be done so that we can be prepared. Because with new levels, new devils, that's a message that echoed yesterday through a lot of different content that I watched. And the reason why is because when God continues to elevate and ascend you to greater, you're going to have greater challenges that you face. And in your waiting season, when he's seasoning you and you're actually doing the work to draw in closer to being like him, to understanding how his disciples in the Bible worked and how they moved and how they withstood temptation, or how they withstood when they felt convicted in something and pivoting their way and their language, that's how you know you'll be fully armored once you get to that next level. You'll know how to navigate the space because you did the work when you were waiting. You drew closer to understand how to move. You drew closer to understand how Jesus would do this. And not just thinking it, but learning how to do it and then being able to do it. My loves, this message was so good and I felt like it would help someone. Talk to you guys soon.